I had to position this phone right. Okay. Why this? Not sure I was being funny. Mm. Why does this eyeshadow look darker than the other eye? I don't understand. What do I do? Or I could just make it like a little bit darker over here. Let me see real quick. Mm, I know it's late. It is after 9 o'clock. It's almost 9:30. It's 9:17. Hello, everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in. I have been having a lot of requests on how do I clean my makeup brushes? I get asked that a lot. I even have like younger cousins who's just starting to get into makeup, and I get this question asked a lot. And how do I just like manage all of it? Because I'm on here a lot, and y'all will see me put on makeup sometimes on the camera, but we got to talk about what do I use to clean and how do I clean my makeup brushes? I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough because I don't play about my skin. I already have sensitive skin. I grew up having eczema. Like, I still have it on my hands. I had it on my legs, my arms. I never really had eczema on my face, but breaking out, baby, I don't play about. I do not play about breaking out. But I am going to show you some products that I got from Amazon that I do use to clean my makeup brushes. And I am going to tell you what soap I use because there's a particular soap that I like using. I don't use any other soaps but this one. And it's been doing me so well. Like I never break out from it. Now, I've tried other, oh shoot, excuse me. I have tried other makeup, brush cleaner, soaps, and shampoos. I have used them and for some reason they have this strong scent to them and I would clean the brushes with it and then the brushes just have more chemicals in there than it was when I put the makeup on them. So we're gonna get to that soon. Let's see. Hi, I'm Haley. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Hi, I'm gonna assume that that's Ola M104861. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Humber to Scuba. Hello, I need your support. I can see what I can do. I can see what I can do. Well, we're gonna move on along because I do want to show y'all these products that I use to clean my makeup. So this is the makeup brush cleaning machine that I use. It is so cute. I got this from Amazon years ago. I've been using it ever since. Let me unwrap it because I am going to show y'all how it works very soon. But I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. This is the button that you use to press it on. And then if you want to turn it on, turn it off. The beauty of this bad boy is you can take this bad boy out and wash it all, clean it, detox it, whatever you need to do to get all the makeup and dirt out of there. And this is where you dip the brush at. This is where you put the soap and then you just pour some water in there. And baby, you just dip the brushes and baby, all that makeup is gone. Trust me, the brushes are brand new. You just have to let the brushes dry for like a day or two. That's what I usually do. I'm not putting wet brushes on my face. But the best thing about it, you don't have to worry about charging it, but you do have to plug it somewhere where it, where this fits. I'm not the best at knowing all the charger port terms and all, so excuse me for that. But if you're interested in buying this product, it's linked in the description below. But I'm gonna show you how this works. Since I did my makeup tonight, I'm gonna show you just like me cleaning one brush, and then I'm gonna show you all the soap. I love using Eco Tools. Let me show y'all. This is the one and only makeup brush cleaning soap that I use. I use this for ev like every time. This is the bomb. And for me to have sensitive skin, this is just so perfect. It never done me wrong. And I just don't feel like I need to use any other product. But this right here, it's just perfect for like all skin types. It washes away everything, like the makeup, the oil. Um, like I literally can just dip it in the water and your brush is brand new. It's clean. It look like you just brought it from the store. So I love this stuff so much. And it just does not have a strong scent to it. And by the way, it's vegan and they ain't test on animals. For those who are into that kind of stuff, that's also a good thing to know. But this stuff is just really like all natural. I love using this to clean my brushes. And I also have this linked in the description below if you're interested in buying this for all my makeup girlies. Let's see, who is Richie Richard? Thank you for the compliment. But I'm gonna show y'all how this machine works, and I just put this over there. So let's see. So the camera over. Let's get over here. Now, don't mind this lamp, but this lamp has a plug where I can use this. Now, I usually don't use this, but this is the closest plug I can find. So here we are, and I'm gonna give me a brush, but I'm gonna take this bad boy out and then fill it up with some water. So we're gonna get to the big thumb. Mhm. Okay, that's a little too much water. All right, now we're gonna head back to mhm, head back to my room. All right, so I'm gonna find like a random makeup brush. But first, I am gonna put the soap in here. That's all it really needs. And another thing about this soap, I didn't really need a lot. Like I could have just put like a little less in there, but we're gonna move on. I'm gonna use the big brush since I put all this soap in there, and you're gonna see it work its magic. I swear. But, yeah, I got my towel ready. So I'm gonna turn on this button. All right, here we go. All right, so I like to press it down, work it around. Since this is a bigger brush, if this is a baby brush, this would have been nothing. But I like press it down just for a couple seconds. And this is better than just soaking your brushes for like a couple hours and, you know. All right, look at that brush. Look. I wish I could have showed you what it looked like before, but this is brand new. It's supposed to have the white tips. That's how I brought it. But look at that. It's brand new. Voila. Now this, I'm gonna pat on the towel. Try that up. Right. Now the camera's back on me. Mm, I need to figure out why in the world is there like a line across here? Mm-hmm. But this is Silverish. Somehow. And sometimes I like to wash out the soap. Like I would pour that water out and then like get all the excess bubbles out sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna let that sit there on top of my dresser. But yeah, that's how it works. So I do have the products linked in the description below. I'm gonna start doing that now because y'all deserve the truth about these products out here. So I'm gonna give it to you. Ask y'all shall receive. Right, I'm just adjusting my camera. I don't know why in the world. Oh, that's why the line is right there. Um, yeah, okay. I was wondering what was going on. But yes, y'all, it's gonna be so many more products I gotta share y'all. Now, if y'all watched my lives before, there were so many other products that I brought on Amazon. Y'all know I just buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, but when they work, you gonna hear from me. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the raw and uncut truth about these products, and I'm gonna send you the link to them because if you need them, I got you. All right, well, we're gonna move on along. Y'all, I have been, let's see, I have been 28 for almost a month now, and I'm still just like adjusting to the fact that I'm going to be almost the 30. Still going to be young. Well, I know I'm still going to be young, but I just really like ever since I turned 28, I just realized like I've been doing this whole fitness thing, this nutrition thing for a while, but listen, I know I'm getting older because I think certain things is catching up to me. Like I can't do the drive-through thing. I gotta slow that down. And I'm gonna get to that next. Chloe Q2O. I look 20. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I strive to be ageless. I strive to be ageless. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. But yeah, so I'm trying to prioritize my health and I feel like I made a few mistakes within my fitness journey because I really took it serious back in, I'm going to say 2023. Here and there, I was doing fitness when I was in college, but I was just really doing regular cardio. Like I would just walk and I was just trying stuff. Like I was like, oh, I'm already skinny. Let me give me some thighs. Let me get a big butt. I was just trying random machines. I didn't know what the machines was for. And I have a whole separate video on that. But I do have an updated gym mistakes because baby, yeah, we gonna talk about it on here. And then I'm gonna talk about like what am I eating, like how am I balancing, you know, my sugar, sodium and all that stuff. But right now, we're going to do the fitness thing and how I'm slowly changing my fitness plan because I feel like a year should tell you enough about what you're doing wrong. I'm not saying that I'm doing anything wrong, but there's just certain goals I'm trying to meet. And I also have to take in what I've been, like feeding myself too, because I can work out right, I can do the right workouts, but if my nutrition is bad, then these workouts won't matter, right? But I had to tell y'all, my biggest challenge was me trying to figure out how am I going to slim my waist. And I do oblique workouts, which is like your side abs, and I do back workouts. Um, and I also do cardio, right? Now I still do that. I'm probably gonna always like I feel like this past year I've been used to doing obliques and I'm not gonna stop do work training obliques at all because it I l- the fact that I have a set core and oblique workout and it actually worked within a year, that's how I know it's working for me. So that I'm never gonna change. But I do want to add in like a little bit more lower ab workouts. Oh, thank you. I want to add in a little bit more lower ab workouts, but it's just like a few lower ab exercises just to give you that extra V cut. So that's literally the only thing like I'm changing. I'm just adding in lower abs, but I'm still keeping my abs circuit. And plus, I slowly want to get back into like doing a little bit more standing up core training into my routine. I feel like I went from doing standing abs from the beginning back in like 2022, 2023, and then I worked my way just doing on the floor ab exercises. And I've been doing on the floor abs exercises ever since. I only do like two ab exercises of me standing up, even now. I still do that, but now I think I think I want to kind of combine it. I mean, I do make sure I train core twice a week, sometimes three times, but if it's going to be three times, it's not going to be a full workout. It's going to be probably 5 minutes, if that. Um, and I've always said this to people, yo, abs workouts don't have to be 30 freaking minutes. That is way too much. And it's just unrealistic. You don't need to do that. And I know people who just do strictly core because your core is basically your lower back and your whole abdominals. So everybody has something that works for them, and it's nothing wrong with giving something a try. And if you think it's just too much or like try to switch it around a little bit, as long as you're reaching your full potential, it's gonna hurt regardless. So that one of my biggest challenges was just understanding the difference between when they say you're working your core, you're working your abs. Your core is technically your abs, but your core is basically your abdominals and like your lower back too. And it's good to work that whole area. So, but I definitely suggest a lot of cardio. And I'm not a CBT at all. So I'm learning all this on my own, right? But mm, but I will tell y'all this one thing about me. When I was working at the warehouse, I thought I was Superwoman and I didn't realize how much I was like using a little bit too much knee strength. And then I'm going to the gym and I'm thinking I'm going to work glutes and legs with 20 or 30 pounds. And then I wake up and I'm just like, okay, I don't even work there no more. Now all of a sudden I have serious knee pain. I'm like, I'm too young for this. I'm too young for this. Now I'm doing like a bunch of like knee pain stretches. I don't have an injury or nothing, but I'm doing a few like 3 or 4 stretches that just help me prevent getting like knee pain or a knee injury. And I kind of like slowed down with doing Bulgarian split squats, but it's simply because I was doing them while I was working in the warehouse for 3 months. Baby, I'm already trying to put items in a bin, and if the bin is all the way down low, I'm gonna have to get on my knees at some point. I know it sounds crazy the way I just said that, but hear me out, right? I'm doing that for a couple items. And yeah, I might have did it 2 or 3 times. I know you're supposed to like hold in your core and do a lunge, but I do lunges at the gym too, so that adds up. I do lots of lunges because I do that to build my legs. And then there's particular lunges I do to build my glutes. And then I'm squatting on top of that. And they tell you you have to squat, holding your core, squat down to pick up a heavy box. I'm doing that at work, and then I'm going to the gym to do more of that. Wait, I, yeah. Y'all probably is it never again, never again. If I could turn back in time, I would probably just build my legs and my glutes with more knee friendly exercises, which is what I'm doing now. And I would have just did like on the floor glute exercises versus me doing Bulgarian split squats and kettlebell swings and sumo squats because I'm literally just going up and down and I'm working my knees. And yes, I do use compression pads, but here's the thing, like there are compressions. Compressions it can only do so much. And it's still not good for you to overwork your knees when you worked a 10-hour shift and then you're going to the gym to work your knees anymore. That is just too much on your knees. Whether you have compression pads or not, you can still, get hurt. So that was, yeah, that was a big mistake on my end. Will I ever return to big area space squads? Hell yeah. Um, I could bring it down to maybe once a week where I do them, but I don't use it with weights. And I was able to do 30 pounds, literally with no issues. But yeah, I might be grunting, praying, trying to do them, but I will eventually go back to them. But I just think my knees need a full break. And you don't need to do Bulgarian split squats to build your glutes. And you don't need Bulgarian split squats to build your quads. People tend to forget that. They look at these other fitness influencers and CBTs, no diss to them, but I mean, that's how I learned how to do them because by me looking at them. But you don't have to do Bulgarian split squats in order for you to build glutes. You don't need to do them to build your quads because there's two ways that you do Bulgarian split squats. But I'm taking a break from doing them. I have to get my knees back to the way they were. So, and I'm at a point that I will do these knee stretches a little more often just to make sure, like, okay, we're going to be strengthening them. We're going to make sure that I give them a break because I'm trying to be 80 plus years old with good knees. Like, that's the goal. I want to be able to still walk. I want to still be able to just move. Like, even if I'm just able to walk, like, that would be a blessing. After 80 years old, you're able to walk. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want. So those are my personal fitness goals there. I just want to be able to move, but I am learning all this on my own. Um, Another thing I want to add is I still do RDLs. I still do sumo squats here and there, but if I don't do them, I mean, I use the hip abductor machine and I just do a bunch of like floor exercises. I use a resistant band and I might even use ankle weights. I'm thinking about it, but I was doing these on the floor glute exercises before I even like started taking the gym serious. So that ain't gonna change. But RDL is gonna always be my favorite glute exercise. That ain't gonna change because it doesn't put strain on my knees like Bulgarian split squats does. But like I said, if I'm working at a job where I'm standing all the time and I have to move boxes and I have to bend down, Bulgarian split squats are Bulgarian split squats at the gym are not your friend. No. Or just squatting too much, like overly squatting, is not your friend. If you're already doing that for 10 hours straight. And those of you that are under 28, please listen to me. While you still have the needs you have, you only get one pair of knees. You only get one pair of knees. Keep them, please. Now, how I do this split, I mean, I train legs and glutes twice a week as it is. Um, I don't know, I just bring it down to if I know I'm gonna be squatting and stuff like that, I would do it once a week. Um, Depending on the leg workout, like there are ways to build your legs without everything having to be a squat. But there is a point that you do have to do a squat because if that really does help you. But if your body and your legs is telling you no, then don't do it. But there are other alternatives. There's so many alternatives out there. You can go on YouTube and find a bunch of videos. Like there's a bunch of videos of like you don't have to jump, you don't have to squat, you don't even have to lunge in order for you to build your legs. I'm still gonna do squats and lunges, but I'm keeping those to a minimum. But right now, when it comes to legs and glutes, I use the machines and I do floor exercises where I use resistant bands. I still do RDLs and I still do single leg RDLs as well. That's like my alternative to Bulgarian split squats. Um, because it's like I still want to do the single leg ones because that's gonna help you tremendously. Like each leg gotta have its own strength. But I feel like my right leg is always stronger than the other leg, which is a fun fact. Lavish, li- lavish liar. Hopefully, I'm saying this right. Hello. Oh, you're from India? Hello, thank you for tuning in. It says, say, okay. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong. It says lavish liar. I hope I'm saying your name right. Jay Shri Shayam Baba G. What does that mean though? That's definitely a whole nother language. Now, I am open to making another video either on here or on my Instagram and TikTok on knee-friendly glute and leg exercises, like a whole glute and leg routine and what I do. I will be posting that one of these days. Let's see. Did I talk about like what I'm doing for abs? Yeah, I mean, technically I did, but I didn't get too much into detail. Um, if y'all watched my video on how I got abs on my channel, not much has changed. Um, the one ab day I'm keeping, the one where I'm literally working the crap out of my obliques, that one I'm keeping. The other one where I'm just using the kettlebell, that one's gonna slightly change. It's going to be like more lower ab and a little bit more standing. But not much has changed with that. Outside of that, I really had to tackle my upper body, and I made it a priority for me to stretch out my upper body way more often, like every few days. Just do 2 to 3 stretches, and I think this also helped because when I was working at the warehouse, we had to stretch right before we went inside to work. And I made that as a priority. I took those stretches in, and I even have a video on my Instagram on warehouse stretches, but I really want to build my upper body. And this is when I'm like slowly transitioning to my diet, my meal plans, and all that. But for some odd reason, I felt like I was starting to lose, my back rolls and everything. For some reason, I just felt like they were slowly trying to come back. But I think I know why. And I do have a separate video on that too. But I am going to just keep it real with y'all, right? There was a point that I was working on my back um twice a week, and then I work at the warehouse, so it kind of slowed things down a little bit. And then, yeah, I made sure I stretched my upper body, but I didn't feel like I was really like training it as much because I don't like training upper body. That's not my favorite thing to train. I love training my lower body more than my upper body. But I really want to snatch my back. I want to snatch my whole entire waist. That's always been my goal. That's been my goal for the past few years. And I'm still like trying to get to it and everything, but I do know that it's going to take time. And I'm not fully rushing it, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I do want it to be snatched by the age 30. I really do. I just want to and I don't need nobody judging me if I start wearing crop tops. I don't need nobody judging me. Please. 30 is still young. 30 is still young. Don't judge me. I'm not gonna know how to act. But do I feel like it's getting there? Yes, I do feel like my waist is getting there because the key to it is you have to train your back, train your obliques, and do enough cardio. But life be lifing, and sometimes you're not going to always be on track. And I forgive myself for that. Like, life does happen. So I'm being very kind to myself and just looking at it as it's still a journey. Like, no one is perfect. And so what if I don't get it until I'm 30? Like, I'm still young, and at least I'm going to be snatched. Like, and I'm actually getting snatched, and I at least have a sense of what I might be doing wrong. Mm, mhm, mm. I mean, I read what I read. I read what I read. I read what I read. Y'all not gonna believe this. I literally am just now learning how the YouTube live thing works. I could have been shared this link to other people. Could have been did that. 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 Mm, really. Anyway, I need to redo this makeup look. Like it's giving like dark feminine. Love it. That was so random. But yeah, like I think, let's see. Yeah, like just more core, a little bit more low abs. And my cardio, not much has really changed with that either. I mean, I'm now doing 40 minutes instead of 30 majority of the time because when I do 40 minutes, I at least walked a mile, whether I do the incline or just the regular walking. I try to do the incline because it just helps build the hips a little bit just along with the Stairmaster. But it's like I don't always go on the Stairmaster. And I'm at the second half of the year now, and I really, I really was contemplating about whether I should do that, just Stairmaster, forget the treadmill, but I'd rather just do the treadmill and do incline, do my little sprints, like do my one, like I do at least 7 1-minute sprints on the treadmill. Like I'm starting to do that. I bought brand new running shoes. I'm finna use them. Okay. Okay. And it just helps because at some point I do want to get into running. Everybody keeps saying like I look like I could be a track star, but honey, I look like it, but I'm not. I don't have the ability. I don't. I don't. I know I feel like I'm talking in circles, but on some real stuff, I think the treadmill and me doing like 1-minute sprints is gonna help, and me doing incline sometimes will help because either way, I'm gonna show 40 minutes. Show the guns. Ugh, I ain't got too many guns, and that's another thing. I gotta explain more about my upper body, but I don't have much to really like show. I have a little bit of bicep muscle, and that's it. That is it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, y'all. I'm not gonna do it. I do not like doing upper body. Like, but no pain, no gain. And I thank God that I found a routine that I'm gonna stick to the whole entire year and see where it goes, where I'm working my back and my shoulders and a little bit of my triceps. And it's just all weights. And I am gonna do a separate like reel on that, like what I plan on doing because there's gonna be times I'm gonna go to the gym, it's gonna be too crowded and the machines I'm gonna use are gonna be taken. And I imagine like what if they don't have the lat pull down? What if they don't have the seated row? What am I gonna use? Or it's just too many people using it. I have to have a routine where I have dumbbells and I'm able to build my back that way. So that's that's one routine I have. And then yeah, the other day I'm just doing back and arms, certain parts of the back where I will use the machines, and if not, I have other workouts where I'm building my biceps. I use the tricep machine. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't even train triceps like that. I use one machine for triceps and that's it. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like it is what it is. Yeah, I can. But who's buying these dumbbells? Who's buying them? When I have a whole gym membership where I can use them. But uh yeah, I can, but I rather be in the gym. That's why I have other backups. Like if I can't use the equipment at the gym, they have plenty of weights. They never run out of weights. So I have my way with that. I have a set routine where I use dumbbells to build my back and my shoulders and just like my arms. And I feel like it's long enough. Like I'm I feel it in the right areas because I really want that hourglass frame always. You might not always have a gym there. Yeah, that's true. The set routine I do have, I don't have to use weights, but I prefer weights because I it's just a higher impact. The routine I have, it's set, but I don't have to use weights. Like there's ways that I could do that same routine without the weights. But since there's a gym, I'm using the dumbbells. I don't care. Shit, these are I get quicker results. Not like 3 months quicker, but usually I get results within like a year or so. And if it works, like it's been doing, I'm just gonna stick to it. I'm not gonna lie to you, the Gemini me does get bored of doing the same old routine. So sometimes when a year hits, I change it just a little bit. But the key is you should not be doing a different routine every few months. Like that's not good. You're not gonna get the results. And I can't stress that out enough. So really, it's not too much change and what I'm doing because I'm still I have my abs, like I've mastered that. I feel like I'm where I want to be with that. I just want to gain a little bit lower abs for real and just stick to my core and oblique routine because I already feel the front part of my waist shrinking. It's just my back, it just needs work and I really have to make sure I stretch out my upper body way more often. And I have to train upper body twice a week, point blank, period. And most importantly, I have to walk like probably 6 times a week. W- I think I'm gonna dedicate a day where I'm just walking around the neighborhood or walking at the park through any kind of weather, unless it's freaking snowing and it's 30 degrees outside. I'm not walking. At that point, if the gym open, we gonna get on that treadmill and just do my steps and call it a day. Now, I know they do the whole 10K step thing, 5K, 10K. Um, that's also accurate. I mean, you do what works for you, but I go by minutes and how many miles I walk. So I do have a watch, like a little like watch that I use when I do go walking, but 5K steps is just as good for me. But if I go over 5K, that's great too. But I usually go by just miles and how long I've been on the treadmill since I'm so used to the gym things. But aren't these angles out there? Well, I've done that. Now I'm stretching them. But I'm just making sure I like I'm clear on like what am I doing for my updated fitness plan, and then I'm gonna get into like the meal plan, what I'm eating, and all that. Because everybody's body is different. Like I know people who will lose fat around their back before their stomach, and then there's people who lose fat in their stomach before they lose fat in their back. Like everybody's body is different. And I'm not trying to get too deep in that, but I know me personally, I've noticed that the body fat kind of like losing like in my stomach, but who knows? Who knows? I'm not no doctor. But I do know that upper body is going to be trained twice a week. Cardio is a priority 5 to 6 times a week, whether I'm just walking outside or walking after I eat dinner. Um, so that's just the extra changes I'm making to my fitness plan. Uh, I keep getting asked, well, one person asked, like, you need to do a vlog of me, like, doing my whole workout split. And I should do that, but I gotta see some results. Not gonna lie to you. But you know what? I might still do it. But like I just do videos where okay, this is what I do for my upper body, and then this is what I do with my leg days. I never just do a video where, okay, this is my workout split. I do this for my leg day. I do this for upper body days. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta see how I'm feeling. Cause I'm still trying to do a fashion video, but let me not get too off topic. I'll probably talk about my future content when I close this live. I'm still on here. But yeah, like I've been like traveling since my birthday was on the 29th, and you just been eating out, you've been eating good, and you've been treated, so your sweets kind of went up, like your sugars just goes up, and you've been eating out a lot, and I've noticed that sometimes I get the urge to when I get out the gym, you just burn a lot of carbs, calories, and all that, and you're so freaking hungry. And sometimes, I have to admit this to y'all, sometimes I might slip up and stop somewhere that I don't belong at and get me something that I don't need, right? But I'll be thinking like, oh, it's small. Like this is just something to hold me over for before dinner, right? But baby, trust and believe me, it will add up. It will add up. And I'm getting older and I just realized like it's just certain stuff I should not be eating. And if I am gonna eat it, it's gonna be completely once out the blue. Cause I'm very good at not eating fast food and all, but sometimes you just you might want crab, you might want to go back, and then sometimes I will go and then I regret it. I will regret it because when you haven't had certain food like that for a while, you're gonna notice a change in your taste buds, your body. Maybe it's just me. Like for instance, like if I were to go back to Wendy's and get me the burger and fries, I personally do like the burgers and fries, but I'm probably not gonna eat at Wendy's for a while, like probably for the rest of the year. Probably, probably not for another year. I'm not even gonna hold on. Like, if I really want a burger and fries, I'm just gonna go somewhere like I don't know, like somewhere similar to Shake Shack. And there is this spot in Newark, Delaware, that I went to a few times, and it's called M2O. And I keep saying that I'm gonna show y'all around Newark one day, and I just keep forgetting, but it's gonna happen, trust me. Trust and believe me, it's going to happen. It's coming. It's coming. The weather is nice. I ain't got no excuse. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna show y'all for real, for real. Like I ain't forget. I ain't forget, but I will show y'all the spots that I do eat at and just show y'all a little bit of like the small town of Newark. But there is this burger place called M2O, and I promised myself that I'm going to eat there instead of eating at Wendy's because it's real beef, it's fresh beef. And they don't be putting like chemicals and stuff in the animals and stuff like that. And the cheese is just real, like it's just real meat. Like it's just better quality meat. And you want to do that for yourself, like, and fast food is so convenient for you because all you gotta do is just go to the drive-thru and get it. And I'll be so hungry after the gym, like I'll be working my off. And I try to keep my cheat days to a minimum, but sometimes it will add up. Even if you eat it twice a week, because it, like, say it was the weekend, right? And your cheat days are on the weekend, 2 days, it still can add up a little bit, depending on, your calories and sodium and yeah. and all the chemicals is just in the foods and how whole the food is too. That's another thing. How whole is the food? Because everybody's going to tell you eat whole foods. Okay, cool. But not you're not going to be eating vegetables and fruit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's just keep it all the way real. That's as whole as it's going to get. And then you want to still have like the illusion of a good meal. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to explain this to you. Like, instead of having a cheeseburger, you can combine that with a salad and make it healthy. Like, I found a recipe on how to make a cheeseburger, either in a soup for the winter time, and I found a way to make a cheeseburger salad. Like, you get ground beef, tomatoes, pickles, onions, lettuce or romaine lettuce, or just any kind of greens, spring mix or something. I personally use spring mix when I made it, but I use spring mix, ground beef, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and you just make your own little sauce. Like, I think I mixed it with ketchup and mayo and something else, y'all. And I just mixed up in a bowl and I poured it over it and I put cheese on top of it. It was so good. It was so good. And you don't feel too guilty because you did not go to the drive-thru to get a cheeseburger. So it's stuff like that I like to keep in mind. Like, another another example is I love going to Honey Grill. I love getting their stir fries and their egg noodles, but they fry in the butter and everything, and I pay attention to the calories now. So I'm putting in 900 calories. Now, yeah, with my height and weight and all that, like, I'm really supposed to be putting like probably like 1600 calories a day, but sometimes I could do 1800, which is fine. But I like to keep it to a minimum. Like, if I could just do 16, that's fine. But there's this one particular stir fry. It's called the buffalo chicken stir fry. It was so good, y'all. Let me tell you, I took the ingredients, like how they make it, and I decided, you know what, I can make this without the noodles. All I gotta do is take all the other extra toppings and put it in a salad, get some spring mix, and call it a day. Chicken, crispy jalapenos, blue cheese, and the buffalo, some type of like buffalo creamy sauce that they put in salads, and some ranch, and call it a day. And don't forget cauliflower. And I've also said that I can even just have more cauliflower and then have buffalo chicken, or just like grill the chicken, season it good, and put some buffalo over it, and then do the blue cheese, the ranch, and all. Um, so it's stuff like that that I'm like writing down and as like a little like digital recipe thing, because I really want to take this whole thing serious because I'm gonna be the 3-0 soon, and I need that waist to be snatched by any means. Like, no matter how much it takes, it's going to happen. I would love for it to be snatched slightly before 3-0, the age of 3-0. I'm trying to go to the beach with that bikini. No, I just want to be up to my standards. I want to look the best, feel the best. You only get one body. Um, but my biggest challenge for me was finding something to eat in the middle of the day. Cause you will get bored of being the same old stuff. The Gemini me does not like routine. I like rotate. Rotate. My breakfast will be healthy. I will have half the time I don't even eat carbs, and I just started eating carbs for breakfast because carbs burn in the morning versus they won't burn as much later on in the day. I can do oatmeal with fruit and chia seeds, and sometimes I will do just a smoothie and I'll get me a bagel, or I barely even eat pancakes and waffles in the morning. I will have to really grate them, and that's once out the blue. That is strictly once a freaking year, if that. Otherwise, I'm eating eggs and bacon or eggs and sausage. So those are like my go-to breakfasts. And then the meal of the day. Usually I am getting spring mix and some leftover turkey and provolone cheese, and I'll put some dressing over it. Like that's what I would do when I go to work. But sometimes I get tired of eating that, you know. And then on my off days, I will go to the gym, and then I'm just like, dang, like I didn't worked off the fruit I had this morning and the spring mix salad that I had in the afternoon for lunch, and I go to the gym and I literally worked all that off, and that is where I mess up. And if I don't work, oh man, I really mess up because I had breakfast and sometimes I have lunch if the lunch is just small, whatever, but it still adds up. Cause I'm going to, for example, like I'm going to Taco Bell and I'm getting something small. I'm getting like I forgot what I get, but it's like a cheese burrito or something like that. That's gonna add up. Now they use flatbread. It's not like it's like an actual bun, but it still adds up. And I do like their nacho fries, but no more, no more. At least not for another few months. And it's only going to be once a month. Once a month. Once. Don't tell nobody. But I'll stop there, and then when I go home, the dinner is fine. Like we'll have rice, chicken, and green beans or something like that. That's a full course meal. And I'm at a point that I won't look at anything when I get out the gym. I'm just like, okay, I know I'm hungry, but you gotta hold it together and get home. And if you're a really, really hungry girl, put protein bars or some beef jerky in the car. Let me remind you, I've never had beef jerky, turkey jerky, or chicken jerky. I never had jerky ever in my life. But I'm at a point that, listen, listen. I know it's your day off work, girl, and you had a good breakfast, you had a healthy breakfast, but you are not about to mess up your system because you got out the gym and you hungry, you work that food off and go to Taco Bell and mess up your chances of, evolving, your body just evolving and just your health evolving too. You're just not about to risk your health doing that, girl. We're not doing that anymore. So we're gonna keep that to a minimum. Every few months, once a month, like every 3 months or something like that, once a month. And no fries for a while. And even if I don't get fries, even if I just get a burger or me getting um something from Taco Bell, like I said, a cheesy burrito, that's just it adds up. So anything like that, it just adds up and kind of stay away from. But yeah, so me and the grocery store is going to be best friends, and I trying to come up with other meals that way I don't get bored of eating the same old thing because I will, I will get tired. I like steak. I didn't start eating steak until I was like in my early 20s anyway. But I will always love salmon. I always love chicken, but I get tired of eating chicken. Mm, I gotta get off here soon. But yeah, as far as like my meal plan, my breakfast is all gonna stay the same because it's the problem's not my breakfast. And I realize the problem is not really my dinners unless my folks just cook too much rice and I'm just like, listen now, I'm trying to cut out the starch too. But outside of that, there's nothing much wrong with the dinners. Like I said, it's usually a combination of cabbage, green beans, and broccoli in my household, and then rice. But we have been trying to cut down the rice because we will get tired of rice sometimes, and it's just too much starch. And I've, had to be vocal about this. So it's more like vegetables and meat and vegetables for me. Yes, there are alternatives to rice, quinoa, cauliflower rice, and sweet potatoes. Um, but I know me, we had sweet potatoes, but they got to a point that we were making them a lot, and I'm just like, I can't. I need a break from sweet potatoes. Like I will get tired of something easily. But now I'm slowly like trying to find recipes of how to like jazz up, spice things up with the sweet potatoes. Like I've seen like a bunch of fitness influencers that I love. They will have a sweet potato and they'll put like ground beef on it. And I'm like, that is so cool. I think by doing that, I might like tell how I feel about it. You know, I love coming on here and just talking about stuff that might work or stuff that I do. Like, just spread the word, and make sure we all healthy out here, just taking care of ourselves. I love it. I love it. But as far as what I eat in between dinner, like what I eat in between breakfast and dinner, you know, I'm gonna be stocking up on protein bars and some jerky. Hell, I might have to keep it in the car. And I do have like low calorie dips that I do get from Trader Joe's sometimes. So that's gonna help me too. Because if I were to cook dinner or something like that, that may take some time. I'm just like, I need something small in my stomach. I just need a little something, something, right? I can go home, get me some pita chips or some whole wheat crackers, and I can dip it. I can like have a healthy dip and just eat it and chill. It's dinner time, whether I cook or they cook. Um, but yeah. So usually my go-to breakfast is oatmeal with fruit and chia seeds, eggs, and bacon or sausage. All turkey, by the way, turkey bacon and turkey sausage. Sometimes I buy vegan bacon from Gardein. Uh, and then like for lunch, I try my best to do either a cucumber salad, just cucumbers and smoked salmon, or chicken, or just straight up cucumbers and ranch. But then again, my dinner will have to be early because you gonna you still gonna be hungry. Apparently, that's what my body be saying. But but the middle of the day meals is like the challenge. And then if I'm just running errands, I'm on the go, and then I go to the gym, and I'm off work, and I run errands, and then I go to the gym. Protein bars and jerky, or either or would be something nice to keep on me. Or I'll just take like a protein bar from the house and keep it in my purse, and that way when I'm done doing my errands or going to the library or then going to the gym, I'll have that with me for me to eat since I leave the gym. And then when I head home, dinner time, basic meal, it could be salmon, rice, and green beans. Um, Recently, like today, I had salmon and cauliflower rice, and then it had mushrooms and zucchini in the cauliflower rice, and I had peppers too. So yeah, so that's like one example of meal that I had today. I'm like, oh, I'm starting off right. Like I'm starting off clean because these barbecues I've been going to just, oh, I said, oh no, it's time to detox. It's time to get back on track, y'all. Like I've been going to DC, I've been eating good. I'm gonna still eat good when I come back, but or go anywhere. But it's nice to have that good balance and just get back on track, detox. Um, like this weekend, I had a whole barbecue, and I'm Black American by the way. So if y'all know about how these barbecues get, baby, you'll have all the good food. You'll have all the chicken, the ribs, the um potato salad, the macaroni and cheese or macaroni salad, watermelon, baby, and corn, baby. Now it's time to detox. But yeah, today I'm like, oh, I got my beef jerky. Has a little snack in between. I got my little crackers and dip. Like I did my grocery shopping. And then I had some salad and some cauliflower rice with some veggies on the side. Like, baby, this meat and veggie um meal thing is just gonna help me tremendously. I'm not cutting off starch completely. I'm just keeping the starch to a minimum because I still love my mashed potatoes. I still like my rice, but I've noticed a change in my figure when I just cut them off for a little bit or just cut them to a minimum. Like I like once or twice a week, I will do rice or potatoes or just them both. Like one day it will be rice and the other day I'll have potatoes, like that full week. And then if I do have it, I keep it to a minimum. Like the whole plate is not full of rice or something like that. And then if it is, like it's okay, but just let that only be your amount of starch for the whole week. That's how I see it. And then if you just slip up about 1 month, honey, that's not gonna affect you for the whole year. So don't attack yourself. But that's just how I do it. And I've noticed a difference in my body when I did it. So yeah. I'm so passionate about talking about like health and nutrition and all because like we're all still learning. But that's just what's up with me. Like No more stopping at drive-throughs. And I don't like being tempted when I do it. That's why I say that if I do it, it'll be in another few months because I don't need it to be a habit. It was already a habit and it started adding up. I started seeing it was starting to show up just a little bit. I was like, no, 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 ma'am. But we're getting back on track. And those of you that's on a fitness journey, honey, if you slip up, keep going. Keep going. Ain't nobody perfect out here. Okay, don't be letting these people, they be posting the snatching all that baby. Trust me, you don't know what they be eating when they get on camera. So as long as you're able to get back on track and keep going and you don't give up and you're willing to be patient and give it time, baby, you'll be going to get here. I still feel like I'm not all the way where I want to be. So that's why I'm like, oh, like let me see what I could do to get to where I want to be. But I also have to tell myself like, girl, you're doing enough. You gotta give it time. And that's the biggest thing. Like, nobody perfect out here. And don't be letting this age thing like, oh, you saw somebody younger, already got their results now. I mean, I'm 28 and when that snatching is where I wanted to be, listen, listen. And if I'm a little over 30, I'm still gonna be happy. What? She wearing a dress like that? She wear the upper bite and the dress? What? Listen, but always love yourself and enjoy the journey for those that are on their fitness and on their health journey. Um, what I do for my meal plans and fitness and all, that's just what I'm doing for myself. But it's always good to like research and look at other people who have similar stories to you. Because that's what I try to do. I try to look at people that have like the same height as me, who may have a similar story, or I look at people that like they show their before pictures, like what was the right type before and all. Like I do my research and I have set influencers that I do look at, and I just enjoy their content because they keep it real about their journey and they're doing their thing. They are doing their thing, and sometimes they might have to change up their routines and change up. Okay, like what can I do to make sure I'm eating the right foods? Like I love that. And then they're down to earth too. Like that's what I like. So if you look for inspiration, it's good to do that, but also don't compare your life to anybody's witness journey. Don't compare it. Please don't. Let's see. Oh, it is 10:30. Okay, just in time. But yes. I thank y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna have the link to those two wonderful products I just shared earlier in the video on here. For those that are trying to figure out how they can clean up their makeup brushes and just find an easier way to clean up their makeup brushes and their beauty sponges, baby. I got you. I got you. But I'm about to get off of here and I wish everybody good night.